to bring about the result. At-tawakkul means doing nothing and trusting in Allah to bring about the result. Can I get a young lady? Right there. Yes. False. Okay. So make it true. You're halfway there. Make it true.
I got a problem.
You have to do something and then put it in the hands of Allah. Mumtaz. Okay, so I'll give 2 pieces of candy. You guys can share that. Who'll be my messenger? Hold on, Sheikh. Take this back there for me. Take it back. No, don't thank me. Take it back. All right, number 8. Number 8, it is easy. All right, pay attention to this one. It is easy for a child. It is easy for a child to repay his or her mother and father for all of their sacrifices for his or her sake. I need somebody up. Huh? True. Whoa. He says it's easy to pay your mother and father back for all that they've done for you. Huh? Hold on. False. Okay, make it true. Okay, he says it's hard. You guys agree with that?
No.
It's impossible. It's impossible. Mumtaz. All right, Jibreel. Huh? And who said it's impossible?
Him.
Mumtaz. Ahsantum. Good job. Good job. All right. So let's get started with lesson 4. And lesson 4, it starts out that after Hajj and Ismail, after they had been favored by Allah with the water of Zamzam. Okay, once they have the Zamzam water, everything is good. Allah had not stopped favoring them. There were still more favors to come. And the next favor is that there was this Yemeni tribe, Yemeni Qahtani tribe, called Jurhum. And they happened to be passing by the valley where Hajj and Ismail were. And they were on this journey that they were taking, and they were passing by. And it was about that point where people who've been riding for a long time want to do what?
Rest.
They want to rest. Okay? So obviously if they're going to rest, they want to rest. They're in the desert. So they want to rest close to what?
A tree.
Close to water. They want to be close to water. And so the leader of the tribe sent a detachment of scouts to search for water. Go look for a water source, a place where we can what? We can sit down close to it, and we can water our animals, and we can have water for ourselves, etc. Okay? So they're going to look for water and try to find a place where they can set up their camp. And the leader of that detachment, he saw what? He saw some birds circling around the valley, right? And when you see birds circling, that's a sign of what? That's a sign that there's water. Okay, that's a sign there's water. So they knew there's water what? In that area, in that valley. So they proceed in that direction, and lo and behold, what do they find? They find Hajj and Ismail sitting by the well of Zamzam. They find Hajj and Ismail sitting by the well of Zamzam. And so when they find them there, they ask, they request to what? They request to be able to what? To alight. We want to make our camp here, perhaps settle here, and partake of the water. Okay? They asked, pay attention to this now. They're a whole tribe. Men, women, and children. And they asked permission from a woman who was by her what? Her lonesome with her little child. She's totally weak and helpless. She's so vulnerable, but they did what? They said, hey, can we have your permission to what? To make our camp here, to perhaps settle here, and to take and to have some of your water. Ahsan. We want to just have some of your water. Okay? I want you guys to think about that. Think about that. They're in a position of strength, but they asked for what? For permission. So when they asked for permission, Hajar, she said, yes, you can settle here. You can partake of the water, but you can't own it. You have no entitlement to it. I own this well. And you know what they said? They said, yes, of course. The well belongs to the one who discovered it. The well belongs to the one who what? Discovered it. We're not coming here to take your water. We just want to what? We want your permission to what? To take benefit from it, to partake of it. Okay? And so the Prophet Muhammad, he said that Hajar, she craved the company. She craved the company. She wanted some people to be what? Around her. She wanted some people to keep her company. So she what? She accepted this arrangement. Okay? This is my water, but you're free to what? To settle here. Okay? Alright. So Ibn Abbas, he says that this infant, Ismail, he started to grow. And he grew to be what? A strong lad. A strong little boy. Okay? And he learned Arabic, which was the language of the tribe of what? Juh. He learned Arabic. And he was very smart. Had a very pleasant personality. Very attractive personality. So what happened? They were enamored by him. They admired him and they loved him very much. Okay? Because he had a very pleasant person. They loved him. They embraced him. And they treated him like what? Like he was one of their own. Okay? So he keeps what? He keeps growing. Keeps getting stronger until he becomes a young man. Okay? Reaches adolescence. Gains strength. Gains stature to the point that he's able to do what? He's able to do what young men do. They go off on their own to fend for themselves and to earn what? To earn a living. And how does he earn his living? By tending sheep and hunting. Tending sheep and hunting. This is Ismail. Okay? Gets to the point where not only can he what? Fend for himself. He can basically be a help for himself and a help for what? For others. Pay attention to that. So now Ismail is not an infant who's helpless and dependent upon others. Rather, he depends on himself. He depends on himself. And others what? Depend upon him. Very useful. Okay? Then what happens? What do you think happens then?
His father comes back.
After many years, Ibrahim returns to visit and check on the mother of his child and the beloved son that he left behind so many years ago. Comes to check on them, see about them, and spend some time with them, okay, after all these years. While he's visiting, he has a dream. While he's visiting, he has a dream. Anybody have any idea what he saw in his dream? Father Sheikh.
Him, he was going to slaughter his son.
Can you say a little louder? I don't think they heard you. Let's do that.
He was going to slaughter his son.
SubhanAllah. Good. So basically, he saw in the dream that what? That he was about to sacrifice, about to slaughter his son and offer him as a sacrifice to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what he saw in the dream. And what's significant about that? Do you dream? Do you have dreams?
Yeah.
Do you have dreams? Do you have dreams?
Yes.
I think we all have dreams, right?
Yes, I have dreams too.
But what's so significant about this dream?
I have dreams.
What's so significant about this dream?
Crazy.
What's so significant about this dream? Tafadhali. It's special. And what makes it special? What makes it special? Okay, you're really close. Really close. It comes from Allah,
Prophets' dreams are like reality.
They're that when you put these two ends together, from Allah, prophets' dreams are reality. The dreams of the prophets are a type of revelation. They're a type of wahy. So it's not normal like you and me. We see a dream where we're a millionaire, right? And we're driving around the best cars and everything is all fine. Everything we wake up, right? That's how it is with us. But with the prophets, no. When they dream, it's revelation. So Ibrahim understood from this that Allah is commanding him to offer his only son who is now not just what? Useful to himself, but useful to what? To others, including his father. He's asking him to offer him in sacrifice. So Ibrahim, he goes to Ismail and he consults with him. Says, I see in a dream that I am about to sacrifice you. What's your opinion of that? What do you think? What do you have to say about that? Huh? You want to say something? Yeah. He's going to say yes, you think? Okay. What do you think?
His son said yes, do whatever Allah told.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Allahu Akbar. So sure enough, he tells Ismail, look, God is commanding me to slay you and offer you as a sacrifice. What do you think about that? You know what Ismail said? He said, do whatever Allah tells you to do, and I'm going to try my best to be patient. I'm going to try my best to be patient to accept the decree of Allah. Okay? That's fadl.
He's going to sacrifice the sheep.
You think so?
Yes.
Don't give it away. All right. So, Ibrahim and his son, they go. Ibrahim lays his son down, like you lay a sheep down to be slaughtered. And when he drew the blade close, he heard a voice from the heavens. And that voice told him, withhold. Don't do it. You have fulfilled the dream. This is what you saw in the dream. You didn't see in the dream that you slaughtered him. You saw in the dream that you were about to slaughter him. And you fulfilled that. Okay? And you have willfully, you and your son have willfully submitted to Allah, and you have passed the test. This was a test from Allah, and they passed the test. Okay? So then what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do? He sent a ram from the heavens. And Ibn Abbas, he said that this ram was grazed for 40 autumns, 40 years in heaven. Special ram. Allah sent it down and told Ibrahim to sacrifice that ram, instead of Ismail. And this story, Allah narrated it in the Quran itself. Do I have any good readers? People who can read the Quran? Really good? Good. Okay, so let's see. Read that for me. Stand up and read it loud. السعي
قال يا
بني إني. You can come close if you want. Yeah, if you can't see, that's fine. Get right up on it. Yeah.
إني
أرى في المنام
أني أذبحك فانظر ماذا ترى قال
أبتي افعل
ما تؤمر ستجدوني إن شاء الله من الصابرين.
أحسنت جزاك الله خيرا. So فلما بلغ معه السعي قال يا بني إني أرى في المنام أني أذبحك فانظر ماذا ترى قال يا أبت افعل ما تؤمر ستجدني إن شاء الله من الصابرين. So he says, who can read the English? Atfadal. You sure?
Yes.
There's some big words in there. You ready for this? Come on up here. Give it a go. Come on. Don't be shy. Go ahead. Let's see what you do.
He
I'll help you. And when he,
No.
you repeat after me, I'm going to help you. Don't give it away.
And when he,
Ismail
Ismail
had reached
had reached the age that allowed him to be a companion to his father, Ibrahim, said to him,
yes,
"O my son, I have seen in a dream that I am offering you as a sacrifice to Allah.
subhanallah,
So that is your opinion of this." He replied, "O dear father, do that which you have been commanded. If it be Allah's will, you will find me among those who forbid."
You're awesome, man. What's your name?
MashaAllah.
Good job. Good job. Excellent. All right. فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَ وَتَلَّهُ لِلْجَبِينِ. Then when they both had submitted, and he laid him down prostrate on his forehead or the side of his forehead in preparation for slaughtering, وَنَادَيْنَاهُ أَيْ يَا إِبْرَاهِيمُ. It was then that we called out to him, saying, "O Abraham, قَدْ صَدَّقْتَ الرُّؤْيَا إِنَّ كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ." You have fulfilled the vision. Indeed, in this way do we reward al-muhsinin, those who excel in the obedience of Allah. إِنَّ هَذَا لَهُوَ الْبَلَاءُ الْمُبِينُ وَفَدَيْنَاهُ بِذِبْحٍ عَظِيمٍ. Verily, that was indeed a manifest trial, and we ransomed him with a magnificent sacrifice, which is that ram that descended from the heavens. And with that, we bring this lesson to a close and talk about some of the lessons. All right, so first of all, we see from this episode and last episode that Allah answered the dua that Ibrahim made for his family when he first left Mecca. You guys remember when he left Mecca, what did he do? When he got out of sight, he went off and he did what? He made dua, he prayed. You guys remember what he prayed for? He prayed for two things. Father.
For Allah to take care of his wife and his son.
Okay, take care of him how? By sending what?
Zamzam.
Okay, so one thing he told him was to send them what? Provisions. And that started through what? Through Zamzam. But he also told him to send what? People who would look after them. So Allah answered what? The dua of Ibrahim. And what this teaches us is that when we're pious, when we do the right things, and we call upon Allah, He's gonna answer. And He's gonna give us what we ask for. And He's gonna give it to us in one of three ways. Either He's gonna give us what we ask for, the way we ask for it, when we ask for it. That's one way. Or He may give us what we asked for, the way we ask for it, but not right when we ask. He may what? Delay it. Or instead of giving us exactly what we asked for because it's not good for us, we don't realize it, but He realizes it. He does what? He saves up the reward for that dua and gives it to us, gives us something better than that on the day of judgment. But He always answers. Okay, as Allah says, وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمْ وَدُعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. And your Lord says, call upon me, I will answer your prayer. Okay? So if we ask, if we're good, if we do the right things, and we ask Allah, He'll answer our prayers. Okay? Next one, number 2. This story, it teaches us the valor, the chivalry, the sense of honor that the early Arabs had. The good character and excellent interpersonal relations they demonstrate. And their respect for the rights and property of others. I want you guys to pay attention to this. Because nowadays, we're told that the Arabs have always been, and they are today, a barbaric people, uncivilized, and people who have no respect for what? For the property of others. That's what we're told, right?
No.
And they've always been that way throughout history. They've never been what? People who had human decency. That's what we're told. Okay? But my question is, the Western people who tell us that, what do they do? How do they reconcile between this and these what? These historical accounts that show their great respect, their great chivalry, their respect for the property of others, and their human decency. How do we see that in this story? Who can tell me? Tafadhal. How do we see how much respect they had for other people's property,
Because when Hajar was sitting there with her son, and she was like helpless, she had nobody next to her, and so when they saw the spring out next to her, they're like, could I please get some water as a permission?
They asked permission. Ahsant. And they didn't say, hey, we're in the position of strength. We can just do what? Occupy your land. We can just seize your resources, and you're powerless and helpless to do anything. They didn't do that. That wasn't how they conducted themselves. They considered that to be what? Improper. In fact, they had a code that they lived by. That the person who has the most right to a thing is the one who what? Discovered it. Even if it's a woman, helpless woman, she has what? More right to it. And I ask you, compare this and compare between the people who what? They talk about the Arabs. And they go around the world doing what? Taking other people's property. Because they're in a position of weakness. You see that? You know what that is, ya ikhwan? What that is call your enemy something before he can do what? He can call you by that name. Even though you deserve the name. You do what? You beat him to it. And then he spends so much time trying to defend himself that he can't reveal the real truth. That the people who steal the resources aren't the Arabs, ya ikhwan. It's the people who what? Accuse the Arabs of stealing the resources. Like, that said, let's go to number 3. Human beings, ya ikhwan, they are social creatures by nature. Human beings are people of what? Ijtima' or ittilaf. They're people who what? They like to what? Socialize and be together and form communities. And Islam confirms that, encourages that, wants us to form what? Communities. To have this brotherhood, sisterhood, fellowship. Okay? Alright? And it discourages us to be what? To be isolated. To be individuals. Islam is a religion of us and we, not a religion of I and me. And you see that in so many ways. So for example, you have the statement of the Prophet which he said, alaykum bil jama'ah. He said, I encourage you, I demand from you that you be what? You be with the community. فَإِنَّ الذِّئْبَ يَأْكُلُ الْقَاسِيَةِ. It says, because the wolf does what? Preys on the lone sheep. And the Prophet told the Muslims to be what? To be people who think of others and don't just think of what? Themselves. They're not the people what? I, me. They're the people what? Us, we. And we see the hadith of Anas, the Bukhari, which he said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. None of you truly believes and loves for his brother what he loves for himself. So it's a what? Communal religion that encourages what? To form communities and not to be isolated. Number 4, we also learn from this that Ismail was not what? Was not an Arab by birth. Okay? But he became one. He became one by what? Adopting the language and the customs of what? Of the Arabs. And they embraced him and he became one of them. And his descendants, the modern day Arabs, are the descendants of who? Ismail. But they are called al-Arab al-Musta'raba. They're called what? The Arabized Arabs. Okay? Alright, number 5. Allah tests and tries His servants in accordance with their faith. And He never puts on a soul a burden greater than what it can bear. Okay? So everybody has to be what? Tested. Everybody has to be tried. And we can't think that life is going to be free of what? Of difficulties and hardships which test our mettle and distinguish those who really believe and the faint of what? Of heart. As Allah says, أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. Do the people think they're going to be left alone to say we believe and they're not going to be tested? So we have to be tested. It's part of life. And whenever Allah tests you, He tests you in accordance with what? Your faith. So He doesn't put on you a burden beyond what you can bear. So if He tests you with something, it's because He knows you can what? You can handle it. But you have to believe that and trust in Him. Now the question comes, why does Allah test us? What's the benefit of the test?
He could test us to see if we have faith in Him.
Ahsan. So sometimes He tests us to see what? To see our level of faith and commitment. Ahsan. What's another reason? You think,
Because Allah tested Ibrahim by sacrificing his son.
Okay, so we see that He does test because the way He tested Ibrahim. That's one way we know for sure that He tests us. But the question now is why? Sometimes He wants to... So sometimes He tests us because we have sin. And these tests are a way to what? To expiate those sins. As we find the hadith of Aisha, in which she said, ما أصاب المؤمن من هم ولا غم ولا حزن حتى الشوكة يشاكها إلا رفع الله درجات من درجاته أو كفر من سيئاته. So he said that there's not a calamity, a difficulty, a hardship, depression that befalls a believer. Even the thorn that does what? That pricks him. Except that Allah is going to do one or two things. Either He's going to expiate his sins, or going to do what? Raise his what? His rank. Another reason Allah tests us is to punish us in this world for sin, so we won't be punished for them in the hereafter. وَمَا أَصَابَتْكُم مِّن مُّصِيبَةٍ فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُمْ وَيَعْفُو عَنْ كَثِيرٍ. That no calamity befalls you except because of what? Your hands have sent forth, the deeds you've done, and Allah forgives much. He doesn't punish you for everything, but He does. And you find the hadith of Anas, he said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ إِذَا أَرَادَ بِعَبْدِهِ الْخَيْرِ عَجَّلَ لَهُ الْعُقُوبَةَ فِي الدُّنْيَا. If Allah wants good for His servant, He does what? He hastens the punishment for him in this world, rather than the hereafter. So that's another reason why He tests us. Also, He tests us with a musibah which is minor. To protect us from a musibah which is what? Which is major. Give an example. Leave out of the house one morning and you're rushing to get to work. You're running late. Get in the car, you're speeding to work, and all of a sudden, pow, you get a blowout. And you're like, oh man, why did this happen? How did this happen? But that happened. But if you had kept going, you didn't have that blowout, you had to stop and fix that tire, there would have been what? An 8-car pileup down the road, and you would have been mixed up in it. So you see how Allah causes one calamity to prevent what? Another calamity. So we have to understand that everybody has to be tested, and there's lots of benefits in the test. And our job is to be what? To be patient and to tolerate the test, knowing Allah does not test us beyond what we can bear. But next one, number 6. The dreams and visions of the prophets are a form of revelation. And this is confirmed by the hadith of al-Bukhari on the authority of Aisha, when she said that when revelation first came to the prophet, it came in the form of what? Of dreams that he would see at night. And then they would come true with the clarity of daybreak, just like he saw. So the dreams of the prophets are what? Are revelation. So number 7, being a Muslim requires that we submit and surrender to the commands of Allah. Even if the wisdom of a command is not apparent to us, or it appears to our limited human intellects to be illogical. Where do we get this from in the story? Where do we see this in the story? And we just have to submit. Fadli.
When Prophet Ibrahim was about to kill his son.
Ahsan. So if you notice, Ibrahim is basically being commanded by Allah to what? To slaughter his only son. Ibrahim didn't say, oh Allah, why are you ordering me to kill when killing is haram in Islam? He didn't say that. Right? Why are you ordering me to kill what? My only son. He didn't say that. He didn't start to what? To reason it. Once Allah gave him the command, he what? He obeyed it. Likewise, Ismail, he didn't say, Why me? What did I do? What sin did I commit that I should be? He didn't say that. They just did what? They submitted. I'm going to ask you honestly, Ikhwan. There are many things that Allah asks us to do, orders us to do, and we don't do it. Even though what? It makes sense. And none of it reaches the level of what? Being asked to take the life of your own son. None of it. But there's plenty of things that make sense to us, and it's relatively speaking, it's easy. And we don't do it. And we don't do it. Fight number 8. We as human beings, we can't do anything. Except if Allah does what? Gives us His tawfiq. If He makes it possible for us. Wa alaikum salam. I don't care what it is. You can't even do what? You can't even tie your shoelace unless Allah enables you. He helps you. And that's why it's critical for us to always ask what? Allah for His help, His aid, His support. Even His obedience, we can't obey Him except if He helps us. And how do we know this? Where do we see this? Where do we get this from? Where in the story does it tell us that you need Allah's help even to obey Him?
When Ibrahim finds in his dream he's about to kill his son.
Ahsan. So he found his dream, he's about to kill his son. Tells his son, hey, I'm going to have to do this. Allah commanded me. What did his son say? He said, I'll be patient. What? Inshallah. I'll be patient. He didn't say, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm up for the task. And stop. No, he said, I can do this. Inshallah. If Allah allows me to be patient. I can only do it if Allah wills. We can't do anything, even obey Him without His help. And that's why Allah teaches us to say at least 17 times a day, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ عَلَى ibadatik. You alone we worship, and we seek your help in worshiping you, because we can't do it unless you help us. So last but not least, number 9. The origin, this story teaches us where this whole concept of what? Sacrificing animals during the Hajj season, where does it come from? This Hajj that we do when we go for Hajj, and this Udhiyah that we do when we stay behind, it comes from what? It comes from that what? That ram. That's what the...
From when Ibrahim when he was about to slaughter his son, and the ram came down.
And he was given the ram to what? To sacrifice instead. So these are the lessons from today's lesson. And we'll close as always with comments, questions, complaints, or critiques. Anything. Any comments? Any questions? Any comments?
So how did the Prophet know that the dream came from Allah and it was just a dream?
Because he was a prophet. If he were a normal person, like you and me, then we could say maybe it came from Allah, maybe it didn't come from Allah. But when the prophets have these dreams, they know it's what? A form of wahi. Because of their special status, that these dreams can only be what? Can only be wahi. They can't be from the suggestions of the shaitan, for example. Tayyib, any other questions? Any other questions?
No.
Comments, complaints?
No.
Tayyib, well, let me close with this then. I want to say that one of the main things that we want to do here is we want to make this lesson is we want to make this lesson very what? Responsive to the audience. So we don't want it to be like, that's why it's different from other classes. Other classes, generally speaking, I don't use slides. But in this class, I always what? Use slides. If I use slides, I generally don't use what? Pictures, images, generally. But this one we use a lot of what? Images. But we do that because these images, they're a good learning tool, especially for what? Our young ones. And some people are going to object, and they're going to say that, we shouldn't be using these images and this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, Juan, I'm not for images. I'm not for it. But what I do understand is that as a wasila ta'limiyya, as a means for teaching, it's permissible to do this. And our children benefit from this. And our adults benefit from it. The way that we're doing this is going to make the information stick with our youth more than just what? Coming, setting up a table and having a dry lecture. Okay? While people what? Daydream. And so I hope that what we can do when we come together is that we can look at the big picture. And we won't be the people who can't see the forest for what? For the trees. I hope we can do that, Ikhwan. Because I'll tell you personally, I'm very hassas, I'm very sensitive about the use of images. But I also understand that Islamically speaking, you can use pictures for what? To teach. You can use them as a means for what? Teaching, just no different from a textbook. No different from a textbook. Our textbooks are full of what? Of pictures. Because they're useful as a means for what? As a teaching tool. And so I just hope we can have that that general understanding, and everybody can understand that. Any other questions, comments, or complaints? Atfadal, Sheikh.
Me?
If you want, yeah.
Why did Allah tell him to slaughter the sons?
As a test. He wanted to test his faith and his commitment. Would he obey Allah? And we all get tested like that. Atfadal, Sheikh.
Can you go back to the translation of the dream, please?
Sure. Alright, why is it not?
Oh, because the mouse is pointed.
There's something else going on here. Alright, let's just hold on a second. Alright, let me see right there real quick. Alright, Abdullah. Which part do you want to translate?
Don't worry about it.
Huh?
I was talking about when it says, I have seen in the dream.
Okay.
That corresponds to inni ra'aytu.
Okay. So you're saying it should be, I see?
I probably see, or I continuously see. That's for, I think most of the scholars are saying.
Okay.
Because it's continuous.
So let me ask this question. What would be the difference in terms of, how would that affect, how can I put this? What would be the tangible...
You mean the results of the action of Ibrahim?
No, what I mean is that if it's I have seen, I am seeing, I see, how does that change what we understand, the message basically, the overall message?
Because the action that Ibrahim is about to take is not an easy action.
Understood.
Yeah. And so, and the Quran says, Inni ara. Inni ra'aytu.
Eh?
So probably Ibrahim was seeing several times.
I see what you're saying.
Before he talked to his son.
MashaAllah.
And if that's the case,
Eh?
then when we say that the dreams of the prophets are the truth, revelations, what does that say about Ibrahim? If he continuously see and knows that his dream is the truth.
So you're saying it will give more emphasis if you say, I see, instead of, or I'm seeing.
In the ara means continuously see.
Understood.
Or more than once.
So you're saying that shows that it was not just wahi, but it's wahi muakkad.
No, maybe a dream twice or 3 times.
But I'm just saying, the fruit of that, a thamara would be wahi muakkad.
Or wahi that comes several times.
Okay.
So if it comes several times, and we know that the dream of the prophets is true.
Al-amr muakkad.
So why would it come 2 or 3 times? I was asking that so I can ask the kids,
ahsan. Okay. So rather than I have seen, I am seeing in a dream repeatedly that I'm offering you as a sacrifice. As if Allah is what? Emphasizing this command.
Right.
Not just commanding me once, but commanding me repeatedly.
Exactly.
Okay? So what will be the benefit, Yahweh? What would that teach us? What lesson we gain from that? He's saying ara would be what? Mustamir. So I keep seeing it over and over. So I can't ignore it. I can't ignore it. Subhanallah. That's a good point. Jazakallah khair.
When Ismail was coming back to his family, so if he had a dream, so he rested and slept. I thought if he didn't sleep, it would be a vision.
It would be a vision like a daytime vision.
Yeah.
No, this was a dream, I think. Yeah. Because he says, "Inni ara fil manam." Yeah, I see while I'm sleeping. Okay, or during sleep. All right. And that's a good point. If he just said ara, it could be in the daytime. It could be a vision in the daytime. It's a good point you made. Anything else? تفضل Sheikh.
I was just wondering if Rami al-Jamarat was a part of this part of the story when they were climbing the mountain to
Not according to the books of seerah. That's a good point though. Because it seems like there's a connection between every part of Hajj and this story, so where does that fit in? That's a good point. But the books of seerah, they don't make connection between...
Well, they threw the Jamarat 3 times, right?
I think the shaitan.
But where in the qissa, that's what I'm saying.
It's right when they were taken off to the top of the mountain. He came into to Ibrahim and then to Ismail and then to Hajar. Which is the 3 times.
Like, don't do it.
Yeah, and every time he would pick up
stones.
MashaAllah.
Jameel. Yeah, they don't mention that part in the books of seerah. That's good though. That's a good point. Ahsan. Allah Zakir. Sheikh, anything else? Follow.
I think I know why Allah sent the dream to the man. I think I know why Allah sent the dream to the man.
You know why he sent the dream?
Look, I think I know because so he receives a man that follows his rules.
He was a man who followed the rules.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. And may Allah make us from those who follow the rules. Ameen. Very good. Any other questions, comments, or complaints, Ikhwan? Going once?
No.
Going twice? Gone. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح